It's March 31, 1922. A family of 6 just vanished from their remote German farm. For days, nobody even noticed they were gone. When neighbors finally broke down the door, they found something that still haunts Germany today. This is the Hinterkaifeck massacre. And after 100 years, we still have no idea who did it. The Hinterkaifeck farm was home to the Gruber family. 63-year-old Andreas Gruber was the owner. He lived there with his wife Cecilia. Their daughter Victoria stayed with them, along with her 2 kids. 7-year-old Cecilia and 2-year-old Joseph. Plus, there was Maria, a new maid who'd literally just arrived that morning. Now, Andreas Gruber had a reputation in town. The guy was violent, aggressive, absolutely ruthless. He'd wave shotguns at neighbors over stupid arguments. Hell, one of his own daughters had died years earlier from his abuse. This was not a happy household. April 1st rolls around. A coffee salesman comes knocking at the Gruber farm. Nobody answers the door. He walks around the property, calling out for someone. Dead silence. The barn door is wide open, but there's nobody working. That's weird, because farmers never just abandon their animals like that. Over the next couple days, people start noticing things. The kids don't show up for school. The whole family misses Sunday church service. In a tiny German village, when you disappear, people talk. Help us keep these stories coming. Like and subscribe. April 4th, the neighbors have had enough. They force their way into the house. What they find is straight out of a nightmare. 4 bodies in the barn, covered with hay and farming tools. Andreas and Cecilia Gruber, their daughter Victoria, and little Cecilia. Inside the main house, 2 more bodies. The maid Maria, and 2-year-old Joseph. All 6 had been butchered with a farm pickaxe. But here's what made the investigators sick to their stomachs. The killer had been living on that farm for days after the murders. The evidence painted an absolutely terrifying picture. Every single calendar in the house had been changed to April 1st. That's the day after the murders happened. Someone had been eating food in the kitchen, sleeping in their beds, feeding the livestock. The killer made himself completely at home. Police found hay scattered around the barn to muffle footsteps. There was a hole cut in the barn roof where someone had been watching the family. The autopsy results were even worse. Old Cecilia had 8 holes smashed into her skull. Victoria had 9. These people didn't die quick deaths. This was pure, brutal rage. So who could have done something this brutal? The prime suspect was Karl Gabriel. He was Victoria's husband, supposedly killed in World War I. But here's the thing. His body was never found. What if Karl had survived the war and came home? What if he discovered his wife was screwing around with the neighbors? Because Victoria was definitely having an affair. But there's something even more twisted about this family. Police records showed that Andreas Gruber had been convicted of incest. The sick bastard had been raping his own daughter Victoria. If Carl Gabriel came home and found out about that, it would explain the absolute overkill. The problem is, Carl Gabriel was never seen again, dead or alive. Witnesses started coming forward with some seriously disturbing information. A butcher claimed he saw two strangers walking near the farm at 3 in the morning on April 1st. A homeless guy said he saw someone burning something in the farm's oven. But the family was already dead by then. Andreas himself had been complaining for weeks about weird stuff happening. Strange footprints leading to his farm, but no footprints leading away. Missing keys to his buildings. Newspapers showing up that he'd never ordered. The previous maid had quit 6 months earlier. She said she kept hearing voices and footsteps coming from the attic at night. Someone had been stalking this family for months, planning this whole thing out. German police threw everything they had at this case. They questioned over 100 people. Reopened the investigation in 1955. Tried again in 1986 with modern forensic techniques. Got absolutely nowhere. In the 1970s, something really weird happened. Crime scene photographs mysteriously appeared in a local church. Nobody knows how they got there or who the hell took them in the first place. The Hinterkaifeck farm was eventually torn down. But the mystery just won't die. 6 innocent people were butchered by someone who knew them well enough to live among their rotting corpses for days. And we still don't have a clue who did it. So after 100 years, who killed the Gruber family? Was it Carl Gabriel, back from the dead to find his world destroyed? Some psychopath who'd been stalking them for months? Or maybe someone from the village who knew all their sick family secrets? The truth is buried with those 6 victims on that godforsaken German farm. But somewhere out there, the killer's story might still exist. What do you think happened? Drop your theory in the comments. And if you want more unsolved cases that'll keep you awake at night, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Because some mysteries refuse to stay dead.